Hello everyone, it is MisterStubstep and I have not done one of these in a long time. For those of you that have joined my channel recently, I think the last one of these that I did was kind of like October, September of last year time frame, but I used to do some value discussions on my channel. The reason I stopped them is because I wanted a break ultimately because I finished all the black and white sets, and they usually take the most work to make these videos and then they get the least amount of like feedback and views and stuff like that. So as much as I appreciate the people that do appreciate these types of videos, it just didn't make sense, you know, efficiency-wise, to give the most work to the videos that give back the least. It's not what it's about, but I also want to make room for the videos that more people enjoy and I guess bring my channel more traction and everything. I know it sounds selfish, but these do just take a lot of work and a lot of research, but I do appreciate those of you that appreciate these types of videos. So if you haven't been to one of these videos before, basically what I do is I go through the set, talk about all the cards, their raw value, their graded value, their pop reports, and just their potential for the future, and just my opinion on them in general. I have done videos on all of the black and white sets, all the X and Y sets, all the Sun and Moon sets, and all the Sword and Shield sets up to this video, so through Vivid Voltage, and then I'm doing Shining Fates in this video. I'm only going to be doing the main set in this video, not Shiny Vault, and that's another reason why I've been putting this off for so long, is I picked the criteria for putting cards on this list is if it's over $1. Every card in the Shiny Vault is over $1, and I'm pretty sure, like 122 cards or something like that. So I've been kind of putting that off because that one is going to be a heifer of an Excel document. And I've actually done all promos and McDonald's stuff and all that too in previous videos, and the promo videos are always, like, they usually take me like a whole week. Like every night I just do like 30 or 40 cards because, you know, a lot of the like generations of sets have like over 200 promos, so, and a lot of the promos are worth over $1. So yeah, I'll go over this spreadsheet. You can skip forward if you want to go right to the card discussion like always, and then I should do a little summary at the end. But yeah, I'm just going to go through this spreadsheet really quick. So we'll start out with the A column. It features card names. If it is in red, that means I will be talking about that card today. I'm not going to go over every single card in here. I mean, you can clearly read and see and formulate your own opinions, which is what I want you to do from these types of videos. I like to discuss. I'm not, you know, putting anything out there like this is fact, this is, you know, gospel. Like, no, I just want to have a discussion. And then if it's italicized, I actually have that card in my collection. I, for one, like many people, did open up a lot of Shining Fates in that chase for the Charizard and never pulled it. But hey, I mean, it was fun while it lasted. And yeah, that's pretty much self-explanatory. The rarity is self-explanatory. There are amazing rares in this set. Vivid Voltage had them, and then unfortunately Shining Fates on the English side was the last set to have amazing rares. Wish they did more. They did one of each type. Still don't have a dragon one, and there's a lot of legendaries that they've left out, but oh well. The raw and TCG player is at market price value on TCG player rounded down to the nearest dollar. There's really nothing in here, market price, that is that expensive. I mean, there has been so much Shining Fates printed. You can still randomly find them in stores. And I think I watched a Danny Phantom video, and I think there's more Mad Party pin collections or something that are servicing. Grade, I try to find a PSA 10 because whether you like it or not, it is still the most commonly traded and sold grading company out there, despite its expensive prices now and its backlog. I think they did open up regular submission, but I think it's still $100 per card, which for me is out of my price range. But hey, for some of y'all out there with some big hitters, it might be worth it now. So yeah, I try to find PSA 10s if I can't get as close to that as possible. Sold price is the last sold price on eBay. I know I could easily take an average, but I just do the last sold price because, you know, I just want to know here and now. That's all really this document is useful for, is seeing that snapshot. Because as soon as, you know, I mean, by the time this is posted, I mean, this will already be almost a week old, about a week old, and the numbers won't hold as true, but the data and then kind of the conclusions that we reach together can kind of hold some value. And then the data sale is when that sale was completed. eBay updated, so you can't like go into the thing and like, you know, go into the code, like the source code of the page, and then like look up if there was like a best offer received. These are all just like confirmed things. Whether or not they paid, who knows? If it shows a listing like popping up multiple times, then clearly the previous ones didn't go through, and then the most recent ones are the ones that actually went through because it probably sold and then somebody canceled on either end and then it went through. And the PSA 10 population, the number on the left is the number of PSA 10s and the number on the right is the number currently registered with PSA. I imagine as more and more backlog from PSA comes back, these numbers should continue to increase because everybody and their mother opened up Shining Fates. And then the spreadsheet is from 10 to 12 January. I've just been slowly doing this in the evening. Usually I can knock these all out in one night, but I just happened to start. I did all the numbers on the 10th besides the PSA 10 population, and then on the 12th time of me recording this, I did all the PSA 10 populations. Shouldn't be too big of a deal because, you know, these cards are traded quite often. And I used to have these color-coded, but with PSA's new $100 charge, I mean, unless your card is going to be worth at a minimum maybe like 200 plus, so a green, I would not recommend sending that card at the moment. Back when they were doing, you know, $10, $15 per card, at least that's what I paid when I submitted my initial submissions. The $50 made sense if you wanted to, you know, send in a bunch of cards and then flip all those. I don't flip, but, you know, for those out there that do. And yeah, you can read everything else. Release date was 19 February 2021. So I originally wanted to start doing the Sword and Shield sets when I could, like 6 months out, because that's given it enough time to kind of, you know, chill in the market a little bit and see how it does. And it's almost a year now, so I figured, why not? Base card total 72. There's only one secret rare than this set. And then, of course, you have all the shiny vaults. So just a small set of 73. The other sets similar to this, like Hidden Fates and all that, they have similar set sizes, where the main set is pretty small, and then the shiny vault or the subset is quite large. But yeah, now we can start into the Excel document. So, or I guess it's technically a Google Sheet. So, oh, forgot to mention, I have links to all the playlists, to all the previous value discussions that I've done. I also have links to these Google Sheets, or to the Sword and Shield Google Sheet. So the previous sets, please keep in mind of the as of date, because a lot of the prices are going to be inflated, but I still think, you know, which cards are the most expensive can hold some value. Obviously, things change with people's opinions and popularity over time, but it's just something to keep in mind. We'll start with more Pico V, a classic Pikachu clone. It seems like every generation they have a Pikachu clone. What we've had, I mean, Generation 2 had Pichu and Meryl. I know some people call it Meryl Pika Blue. Gen 3 had, Plusle Minun. Gen 4, Pachirisu. Gen 5, was it Dedenne in Gen 5? I can't remember. Oh, Emolga in Gen 5, the flying one. So annoying. And then Generation 6, I think, was Dedenne. And then Gen 7, you guys might have to help me with the Pikachu clone in Gen 7. And then Gen 8, we had more Pico, so a lot of people, more Pico is with Marnie, so that can kind of help its popularity. But overall, regular V cards, flat V cards, just regular ultra rares, would not recommend sending them into grading. But hey, if they're your favorite card, or you get them cheap or whatever, like, by all means, collect and enjoy yourself. But definitely not my first pick. Even the more popular Pokemon like Pikachu and Charizard, like, you better guarantee that thing's going to get a 10, because, yeah. But CGC 9.5 sold for $20. Not horrible. CGC 9.5. People like to say is equivalent to PSA 10. I think it depends on the subgrades, if subgrades are even visible. But, yeah, not a highly graded card. And then we get into our first Amazing Rare, Yveltal. I am a huge fan of Amazing Rares. I cannot sing their praises enough. Unfortunately, the Shining Fates Amazing Rares were printed to oblivion. I mean, there's a ton on the Vivid Voltage side too, but especially the Shining Fates ones, and because there were only 3 instead of 6, like there was in Vivid Voltage, there are so many of these cards. As much as I love them, and as much as I want to, you know, have a full set of them in PSA 10 or just slabbed in general, they don't go for very expensive. You can see the Yveltal is $26. Has been graded quite a bit. It has a decent ratio for grading. And when I talk about ratio, I'm just talking about the number of 10s to the number in the current population. So 162 divided by 222. And why that's important is this is making a very grand assumption that people are only sending in cards that they presume to be mint cards, gem mint cards, which is not always the case. Some people just send in cards because they want to send in cards, but right now with these prices, let's be real. And then we have the Reshiram Amazing Rare, $37 and a 10, and it's a little bit more graded than the Yveltal. Kind of makes sense as, you know, the legendaries become older in time. Naturally, you're going to have more fans because, you know, at that time, so many people joined the hobby / you know, the Pokemon fan base, and then it grows. Yveltal's a more recent one, Generation 6, Reshiram Generation 5. And then, of course, the most popular Amazing Rare from the set, Kyogre. My favorite one from the set. It looks beautiful. I think I have like 6 of these in my collection. I was going to send them out to get graded. It's the only Amazing Rare that I currently don't have out getting graded. But at this point, because they're so cheap, I might just get like a CGC one or a PSA one just to the collection, so I don't have to wait and pay and all that stuff. But who knows? Who knows? PSA 10, $56. One of the few cards in this that got over $50 because these cards have been so saturated now. Just there's so many of these singles out there. Like if you really want to, you can easily collect the main set. There's just so much out there. A lot of these cards, like the prices just can't stand, because if everybody, 304 submitted to PSA, like that's a lot for a recent set and a card that is pretty common. And then we're rolling into Careless. I love Careless. She's a character that you bring fossils to, and then she gives you like really messed up fossils because certain pieces are supposed to go together, but then she's like, nah. She's careless, which I love that. Pokemon tends to do that a lot with the names. Like their name like looks like a normal name, but when you actually sound it out, it like says what they are. And she was careless because putting the wrong parts together, that's where you got some weird freaks of nature, but ended up being kind of cool. PSA 10, $42, and 19 out of 25 graded a 10. Full art trainers, of course, are super popular. They kind of lost a little bit of their steam. When they first, started gaining popularity, end of 20... Oh my gosh, I'm so good. Yeah, end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and then they just slowly kind of tapered off. They haven't gone back to what they used to be, because people used to not look at full art trainers unless they were super competitive twice. But now everyone kind of second guesses them. But once again, so many Shining Fates cards out there. We have we're skipping a few. We're going down to the more Pico VMAX. The reason why I selected this one is because the 10 sold for $67. $67. Now, I know a lot of you are probably like, wow, these prices, blah, blah, blah. But if you think about it, PSA 10 or submitting to PSA 10 right now is $100. Of course, these cards were probably sent when it was like, $10 per card, $8 per card, $15 per card, whatever. And they were probably just trying to get enough cards in so they could submit a bulk submission at the bulk rate, because you have to send in a certain amount of cards to get that bulk rate. At least that's the impression that I'm under. I can't remember exactly. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. Because, that would be the only reason it would make sense for PSA to charge that cheaply, because if you could just send one card in for like $10, then that would be, a lot more time and money wasted, whatever. But yeah, $67, 17 out of 22 grading to 10. It's a pretty neat card. Pulled it a few times. Nothing too special. The Alcremie VMAX Secret Rare, the only secret rare within the set. Personally, I think this card is beautiful. There was a time when it was actually used in some decks. Hasn't really been used that much recently, but PSA 10's for $33. Another common card, because it is the only secret rare, I do believe it's the only one that takes that secret rare slot in the set. So because it is the only secret rare, if you're pulling a secret rare, it is Alcremie VMAX. So kind of interesting. 50 out of 64 graded a 10. Not too bad. As you can see by a lot of these dates, a lot of these cards have been sold recently. There's very few that haven't been sold in a while. So once again, a ton of these cards out there, so don't, break your back over getting some of these cards. We have the Ditto VMAX. I actually don't have this one, unfortunately. This is just the regular one, though. PSA 10, $24. I just really like this artwork. Ditto Generation 1 Pokemon, so that gives it a boost. I know before this set was coming out, a lot of people had their eyes, as soon as the Marnie was confirmed to not be in the set, and it was going to be a promo later for English, everyone had their eyes on the Charizard, everyone had their eyes on the shiny Ditto VMAX, and everyone had their eyes on the Skyla Full Art. So, the mighty have fallen slightly. The regular Ditto VMAX, cool card. We have the Alcremie V Full Art. This is a beautiful card. I can only find it in a 9. There was a few other like CGC listings, but the 9 was like the one closest as I could find. $19, 14 out of 20 graded to 10. It is a really nice card. If you're an Alcremie fan, Alcremie has tons of forms depending on how you like stir it and what topping you give it. It's actually kind of an interesting concept, but I know there are some people out there that want to collect every form of every single Pokemon, like even like gender differences and all that stuff, which kudos to you. And then they have shiny living dexes in the video games. Kudos to you. I cannot do that. I danced with my Alcremie once, and I got my Alcremie form. We have the Ball Guy Full Art. Probably my favorite full art within the set. I know this is Darium Pokemon. He's the guy that was known for opening like 5,000 packs of Sun and Moon base or whatever. Like, he's that guy, and he loves Ball Guy, and I personally love Ball Guy too. I actually submitted a Ball Guy, I think the CGC, and obviously it's not worth that much, but I thought it was a really cool full art, and Ball Guy's an awesome character in the video games. Every single time you visit him, he gives you an apricot ball, which are fairly rare, and a lot of people like them because aesthetically, they can match with their Pokemon. They're a little bit harder to get. You know, they're not the regular Pokemon Great Ball or Pokemon balls. Pokeballs, Great Balls, Ultra Balls, all that stuff. But PSA 10, $37, 39 out of 64, graded a 10. We have the Cinderace or Cinderace VMAX. One of my favorite YouTubers, Wolfie VGC, he always says Cinderace, and I am a huge fan of mispronunciation humor. I know it probably drives a lot of people crazy, but I love mispronouncing like common words incorrectly, or like enunciating or like changing up the phonetics or something. I find it very entertaining. I'm simply entertained. PSA 10, $35, 20 out of 25, grading a 10. The Cinderace VMAX is not as good looking as, and I believe this a reprint from Rebel Clash? I can't remember, but the one in Fusion Strike is way better looking than this one. And then we have the PokeKid Full Art. So I've pulled this card a couple times. I know at least once, but I mean, I thought it was a cute card. It's a little kid cosplayed as an Eevee, and you know, that's cute and everything, and it is a very cute card, and I could see, you know, kids liking it and all that stuff. But I don't know. Besides the Skylight, I wouldn't picture this one to be one of the more popular full arts, but it is. So PSA 10, $35. Once again, very affordable. As you can see, all of these cards are like $4 and less, except for the Skyla. So very affordable. And I imagine if you've opened up any Shining Fates, you probably have half these cards already. So easy goal for a modern set. Collect all the main set of Shining Fates. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And there's so many like bulk holos and reverse holos and commons at shops. You could probably get the whole master set of just the main set. But hey, that's just me. Not saying that I'm going to do that, but now I'm thinking about it. 85 out of 142, graded a 10. So besides the amazing rares and Skylet, one of the ones that are over 100 for graded submissions. And then finally, we have the high-flying Skyla Full Art. Always been a decent card within the TCG. Has a long history within, well, a decently long history within the TCG. $11 raw. Woo! Whew! $11 raw. And if y'all have seen any of my other value discussions, y'all realize how low these numbers are, even raw values. Like the most expensive card being $11. If you were to just like step back and look at this set as a whole, if there was no shiny vault, like yeesh, this set would like borderline be almost as bad as like emerging powers, or yeah, it would be pretty bad. But a PSA 10 sold for $104. Pretty sure Skyla's at one point were selling for a few hundred, but Skyla's still over 100. You gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. I pulled all the full arts from the set except for Careless and Skyla, and I'm kind of sad because it would have been nice to pull a Skyla. 332 out of 562, graded a 10. Not bad. A lot of submitted. That is the #1 submitted card from the main set, but in the next video, of course, I'll be going off of the Shiny Vault. But we will now scroll down for some summarizing points. Disregard everything highlighted in gray. I just saved it over because that's just how I do. I just carry stuff over. But all these numbers are clearly inflated. You're not going to... I did average PSA 10 prices for all the different types of rarity cards. Those definitely are probably too high. You could probably take $20-30 off of all those prices, maybe more. But for Shining Fates and the white, we can pay attention to that. So Amazing Rares averaged $40 in a PSA 10. So still not worth it, but if you have bulk stuff coming back, you know, who knows? Who knows? That's not bad. I mean, that's like, what, $5-10 profit? Definitely not worth it, but it's something. V's averaging 24, Full Art's averaging 44. VMAX averaging 37, and then there's only one secret rare, so not really an average. It's just one data point. And there's only 25 cards over $1. A lot of you might be thinking, whoa, this set is trash compared to the others, but you have 122 cards in the Shiny Vault, and I last I checked, they were all over $1. Maybe there's a few that aren't, but I'm pretty sure they're all over $1 because people love collecting shiny Pokemon cards. Like that's some people's thing. Like I collect Kirlia cards, other people collect Charizard cards, people collect sets. There are some people that want to just collect all shiny Pokemon. So Master Set recently sold for $620 on the 9th of January. Not bad. Booster Pack, market price about $6.76. I think it's a little high, but it also makes sense. It's a special set, and it's very, very fun to open. ETB market price around $73. I've seen some go for $65, some selling for $80+, but yeah, I do have one sealed, so I'm I mean, I'm happy with that, but I mean, it is a very beautiful Elite Trainer box. Like, a little goldish brownish Charizard and the black. It's pretty clean. It did start a trend for a lot of the Elite Trainer boxes after to come. But yeah, it's nice. So in summary, this set, the main set at least, it's okay. I mean, for what it is, supporting the Shiny Vault, I think it's okay. I mean, I feel like there could have been at least one like bigger hitter card in here. I know there's the Skyla, but I feel like there could have been like one Pokemon bigger hitter in here. But if I had to say anything that like you want to hold on to or just like take a look at, definitely Skyla, because Skyla, female, full art, somewhat playable. It's a card to keep out. And I mean, it's not a bad artwork either. And I want to say the Amazing Rares, because #1 fan of Amazing Rares, but there's just so many of them. I will cherish them, and I'll always pick them up for $1 or $2 when I see them. But there are just so many of them. I can just never imagine them really skyrocketing. I mean, if you have a full like PSA 10 set of all the Amazing Rares or full Black Label set, I don't even know if that exists. But yeah, Skyla probably the only thing that's even worth, because at the end of these I usually like go a low tier, mid tier, and high tier of collectability. I would say Skyla is like a low to mid tier of collectability, and then I want to put the Amazing Rares as low tier collectability because I know a lot of people that do like them, but they're probably not going to see an increase in price for a very long time because of how many there are. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have for this video. I rambled a lot because this is the first one of these that I've done in a while, but I really just wanted to talk with y'all. For those of you that actually stayed through this, just wow, I'm very impressed. I mean, you have patience, and I really appreciate you. I just realized I italicized one ultra rare right here, and it kind of bothers me, so I'm going to change that. But yeah, that is all I have for this video. Once again, links and all that stuff down below to all these videos if this is something that you like. I know Danny Fanta, I watch him. He does a lot of like data type videos, and I think a lot of people will see that initially and it's off-putting, but there's sometimes a lot of good info. So yeah, please let me know your opinion. Once again, this is a discussion. I want to hear what you guys think, if Shining Fates even has potential for the future or whatever. I personally thought the set was really fun to open. I'm kind of over it now. Never pulled the Charizard, never pulled the Skyla, so I have no desire to collect the Master Set. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. Let me know if you have any sealed product or whatever. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. It's your second video of mine or more. Consider subscribing. If you like what you saw, leave a like. If you don't like what you saw, give me some feedback down below on how I can improve, or just give me a dislike. And yes, that is all I have. I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good weekend.